So my talk is a talk that I have been given many times. If you go on YouTube and you search Jaccheri gender, you find other longer version of this talk. For today, I decided to start from the future because you are all tired after a long day. And so I thought, okay, let me tell what I want to do. And then I will tell you what I have done before, and maybe, yeah, I can, we will go back to this. So what I think it's very important is that to understand why we are sitting here at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to do something with the fact that women are underrepresented in computer science. I think, and I have read in many sources, that it's important to do something for social, economic, and environmental reason. For social reason, because we want to give opportunities to everybody, women and men and people from many countries. From an economic reasons, because employers need talents, as I have learned also in your conference. I was participating to the session before by the industry. The industry need well-skilled talents in AI. So if we are able to provide to the industry talents from both gender, we will propose more talent to the industry, and we will make an economic value, and also for environmental reasons, because the problems of the world, of the planet, are huge, and we need a diverse force to attack those problems. So this is my motivation of why we should work with this issue. And what I'm going to do in the future, I am going to work more and more with this cost action that I lead. Is an action of people from 38 European countries. We work for gender equality in informatics or computer science, and we organize many events. We have possibility of short-term scientific mission. So if you know of young people who are interested in working in the theme of gender equality, please redirect them to me, and I will supervise them on how to apply for this short-term mission so that they can travel around in Europe, and either virtually or physically, and spend times with the best people in Europe who are working with this theme. We organize a workshop at ICSI. ICSI is the most important conference in software engineering. And we organize a workshop that is called the third workshop on gender equality, diversity, and inclusion. There is a deadline now, 14th of January, but it will be extended a bit. So for those of you who are interested in writing, or have maybe a paper on your table about gender, about diversity, about software, about AI, so I really encourage you to send to our workshop. And then the big, exciting news that we are working at NTNU, we are working with a bid for the ACM Celebration of Women in Computing, a conference that each year attracts 300 people to address the issue of gender and computer science. And we are almost in the final phase to get the conference to Norway and to Trondheim in 23. So I work very much for this. And if we get, then we will start to work to get sponsors from the industry, because this conference will allows each year to bring young people to the conference from the whole Europe, when they have organized 10 times before in Rome, in Prague, in the big European cities. So I really hope we will manage to get it to Trondheim, and I hope that the Norwegian industry will react as well as the industry in other countries has reacted and give us help to make a big event. So this is my statement for the future. I want to tell you a bit more about this network you gain, that I am both proud and humble lead, because it's very challenging to work at international, not only to work at international level about computer science, but when you intersect with gender and diversity, each country have, as Valeria was telling, has different challenges, different backgrounds. So it's really exciting to see how the different countries are dealing with this topic and which solution they are providing. What I have learned in the many years that I have worked in the field, and especially in the last year that I have worked in UK, that you cannot address everything. You cannot in the same project think of the girls in the school and the professors in the university and the people in the industry. You have to divide, and in UGAIN we have provided a framework that is a possible one, where we have five working group, one working on how to recruit more girls from school to university, one how to retain female students in the pipeline from first year to a master study, how to encourage more female to choose a PhD, how to inspire the young women in their career, and the last one, how to communicate with the external stakeholders in industry and society. So again, I hope we will discuss this more in the panel later. And I really ask you, since as we say in Norwegian, I have a lot to say on my heart, so I am sure I will not go through all my slides. When I have only 1 minute, please notify me and I will stop. It's no goal for me to go through all the slides, because as I told you, my presentation can be found on several channels in several versions. So I like to tell you my message, but please stop me when I have used my time. So what is my advice? I have 7 pieces of advice. The first one, you have to know your numbers and to set your goals. Valeria knows very well the numbers of her own path. We were 8 girls there, and excellent, very good. We must know the numbers. I will show you that I know the numbers for NTNU, for Europe, and then we have to keep and empower the female we have. We tend to focus very much on recruiting, but we don't think so much about the dropout. So we have to work to keep and empower the female, or the diversity that we have. When I work now at international level and at the research level with this topic, people is starting telling me it's not enough to work with gender. Gender is not binary anymore. You have to work with LGBT communities in general, because these communities have a lot of need to enter and to stay in the IT world. I have not done much, but I am willing to open up my research and to look into this point. What is very important is to look for funds, to look for connections, and to look for projects. That's why I sit here, and if somebody invites me to hear my message and want to connect to me, to my project, I really think it's important. It's important to celebrate. It's important to document what we do. And I have learned that we have to see this effort of how to increase diversity in computing as a research effort. We have to bake it inside our research. It's not enough to say I'm doing my research on the one hand, and then in the evening I do some work to improve gender. No, I want to see it as part of my research, and I will tell you how. So if I was a serious person, I would have started a serious professor, but I am not. I would have started my presentation like this and show you where I come from, my master thesis, my PhD, that I work in Informatics Europe, that is the association of the computer science department in Europe, and I work close to the ACM, that is the Association of Computing Machinery. This is my CV. Personally, I have seen it many times, and I have worked for so many years. My main mentor was a man, was a Norwegian professor who passed away 2 years ago, and he was already many years ago aware of the gender gap. I remember when I came to Norway many years ago, he was asking me, how many girls are you at the University of Pisa? And I was thinking, but what is he talking about? I had never thought that maybe we were less girls than boys in the computer science studies. Now, in my team, we are many women. I don't know if it is because because I did something good or because my professor did something good from before. I don't know, but we are many women. I have 9 master students now, and I almost have too many women compared to girls, and this is wonderful. And my passion is on the teaching, on the dissemination. I love to go to conferences and to talk to people. And I think I have been very privileged to live the life of the professor, going around, having sabbatical year in Australia, back in Italy, where I come from. And I have been traveling all over the world. And I think I am very privileged that I can use time to be an activist for my values of social innovation and gender equality. I lead the EU Gain project. I lead another project that is called Balance. IDUN Balance. And I keep statistics about the PhD and the postdocs and that I have been supervised and I have been opponent for. And my projects are both in gender equality and more traditional software engineering. So I was born in Pisa in the 60s, and in Pisa in the 60s they built the first Italian computer. So of course I didn't know because I was a child, but I think that that project has influenced my life and the life of many people in Pisa. We were almost 2,000 students who started computer science in 1983. And in fact, there were many girls. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but we were many girls, many female, and now we are many female computer science professors who are spread all over Europe and US that come from that wave. I have been working with art and technology, and again identify myself in what Valeria was telling before. I have been attracted by this interdisciplinary project at the intersection with art, at the intersection with social innovation, now with gender. And again, I don't know if I am attracted because I am a woman or because it's my personality or because it's important, but yeah, this is my story. And I have to go fast. I have written many papers. If you go on Google Scholar, you will think, how can she still be motivated? She has started to publish in 1990 and she still publishes. I really love to publish, and I am proud to have more than 100 co-authors I have been cooperating with, both women and men. And I have also given out a couple of books. One of these is called Tapetina. It has been translated to many languages, and it's about a woman who is both a mother and an innovator. And yeah, so if you like, you can download or you can even buy on Amazon. I told you that I am passionate about dissemination, and this coup de l'EPA is a framework that we started at NTNU around 2014, and almost each Friday we get students from the high school, from the ground schools in Trøndelag. They come to us to program, and we get both boys and girls. And when the teacher come to our workshop, they say in Norwegian, "Oi, if I knew it was like this, more girls would have joined." So this is our effort to attract students from the school. And this slide I show because it was in that project in around 2015 that I learned about the UN goals. And so during that project, I learned that it was possible to frame my gender activist work below the umbrella of gender equality of the UN. And this has helped me a lot because my mind is a bit creative. I go and I follow the heart and so on. And then sometimes I need some squares to frame what I am doing. And now when I give the whole version of this presentation that has 5 points: the gender, the research, the education, the project, and the network, then I'm able to describe, okay, what is gender equality, what we want to do. It's about empowering all women and girls. And it's, as I was trying to explain at the beginning in my own words, is not only about human rights, is also about building a sustainable future, because there is a connection between empowering the women and help the economic growth and development. I hope that somebody from the industry is hearing and it will be convinced, and they will help us in supporting our project. So my research is in software engineering. That is very much related to AI. Software engineering and AI become more and more close to each other. And when I explain software engineering, I tell to the student that in software engineering, people decide the requirements, people develop solutions for the people, and people interact with the system. So it's not strange that we need to have diversity in this set of people, because otherwise we will develop solutions that are not for all the people. And when AI...
Sorry, Letizia, 1 minute warning.
Yes, when AI meet software engineering, now I'm telling you something that you know very, very well. It's even more important that the people are a diverse set of people, because in AI, the people are teaching to the computer how to learn. So if we teach the computer to learn in a biased way, then it's even worse than when people decide requirements that are not for all the people. I want to jump here to this slide where I show my dear colleague Kerstin Bach, who is an expert in AI. She's a role model for us, because I think that something that is also important, that a role model doesn't always need to be older than you, because otherwise I would not find the role models anymore, because almost all the women who are there are few women who are older than me in the field, and they are but you can have role models that are 20 years younger than you, and you can have role models who are men and who are women and who are Norwegian and other nationality, and Kerstin is a good role model to me. And these numbers are important because these numbers are numbers at the European level, and they are very similar to the numbers that Valeria presented to us before. And at European level, we observe that 15% of the full professor position are taken in engineering and technology are taken by women. I want to show you the very, very last slide, because I want also to show the role models that we have employed in another project, that is the IDUN project, that I hope that we will discuss in the panel. And you see Anne here. These 9 women are women who we have recruited at NTNU. They work 20% of their time for NTNU with the specific goal of acting as mentors for our younger generation. And with this picture, I want to conclude here. And yeah, I hope I will now make my slide available on my blog. So those of you who want to see them can see them. And I will stop sharing and give the word back to you.